How do you know that picture is not old of me laid up with old girl? Sir, stop playing with me. I recognize your tattoo on your shoulder. I recognize you. It's you. It's not an old picture. This is you. If you love a good military romance and urban fiction, this book will do it for you. I absolutely loved it. It is titled Under Love's Command. It is by Charity Shane. It's available at Kindle Unlimited. I did listen to the book with Livy. This book was so freaking good. It had me blushing at different periods. The book is 194 pages. The book overview says Remy Wilson, a true Army brat. As the daughter of a general, her life's plan was set in motion from the minute she took her first breath. The expectations are simple. Be the ideal general's daughter and marry an Army officer. Not once has she considered deviating. Why would she when following the plan will lead to further a blissfully bright further that mirrors that of her parents. Trenard McCallan's life has always been swept into a chaotic hustle known as survival of the fittest. The only plans that exist in his world revolve around getting to the money. The game and players are constantly shifting. However, the end goal is always the same. Keep your head above water. Eventually, Trenard's hustle lands him in a complicated situation. He can either spend the next 5 years in prison or he can join the military. Fort Atkins isn't ready for the recruit with a chip on his shoulder, and either is Remy. Her plans don't stand a chance when she is captured by a charming and determined soldier who won't stop until he owns Remy's heart. This book came out July 23rd of 2023. Listen, this book had me blushing up a storm. Like I said, I listened to the book on Libby. This book was so good. I don't know if I read a book by this author before, but it definitely will not be the last because I feel like the romance was so pure in this book. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't sped. It just felt like a breath of fresh air. I absolutely loved Remy's relationship with her parents. I loved how her parents wanted what was best for her. I was a little nervous at first because I know sometimes children of Army brats, they go through some troubles with their parents just not understanding, like, listen, can you put the military and the Army aside for 30 seconds and just be my mom for this moment? Like, can you just do that for me? Sometimes you see it's hard for people to do that. Sometimes they are so focused on the military career that they've built and things that they just don't really take into account how things are bothering their children. And with Remy being in a relationship with another basically Army general's son, Basil, Basil ain't shit. Okay? Basil is no good. Because Basil really feels like since he's so high ranking and since his parents are so high ranking and they're like basically military like royalty, Basil often treats Remy like she's an afterthought. Like, yeah, okay, I understand you just woke up this morning to these naked pictures from this girl saying that I was sleeping with her. Oh, well, you're not going to leave me. Like, he doesn't necessarily say it that way, but damn near that's the cockiness he has with it because he's like, it'll be too much of an awkward thing or too embarrassing for our parents for us to split. You're not going to leave. I know you're not going to leave. And that is entirely the wrong attitude to take. I feel like that's not fair. I also feel like he tried to play in her face because he's really acting as if she doesn't see what's in front of her. This man really said to her, how do you know that picture is not old of me laid up with old girl? Sir, stop playing with me. I recognize your tattoo on your shoulder. I recognize you. It's you. It's not an old picture. This is you. This is what you do. This is not the first girl that's hit me up. It probably won't be the last, but I'm done. And what I love with this author, she showed that Remy was not playing. When Remy said, I'm done, I'm done. I don't know how many times they had tried to have this conversation, but this time right here, it stuck. And when she meets Trenard, obviously he's now in the military because he got caught up in a situation. In the beginning of the book, it started off so action-based and so, it caught my attention from the first chapter because you see Trenard in the car with his friends. He done got caught up in a situation that he shouldn't have been caught up in. This is why knowing your friends and knowing who has access to you and why they're calling you is so important. Do not call me to come save you. Do not call me to come fix your issues. Don't call me when all your friends that you like to turn up with and have a good time with when they done bailed on you. Do not call me then, okay? If I wasn't there at the wedding, do not call me to come sit with you when you're broke. I wanted to be at the wedding. I wanted to come to the baby shower. You could have invited me to that. Don't be sitting here calling me when it's French. I need to borrow $40 till Friday. If you could pay me back Friday, then you could wait till Friday. I'm really that friend because clearly we're not friends the way I thought. This book was very, very good. It has over 200 reviews already on Amazon. I think their story was absolutely beautiful. I can't think of any ways that this book could have improved. This was definitely a 5-star read. I loved how Trinard was so protective over her. He was ready to risk it all. Don't you love a good story with a man he's just oozing like positive masculine energy, and he's just oozing that like, I'm not gonna let anybody handle you, and if I gotta go to war behind you, I'm going to do it. If I gotta get sent to jail behind you, I'm gonna do it. Now, not the crazy way of like when you done told a man that you're done and he keeps popping up at the house at 3 a.m. That's not Chenard. We're not talking about those kinds of men. We're talking about the ones who want to love, cherish, and honor a woman, and he knows from the first time around this is what he wants. This is where he's going to be. Trinard does not need second and third chances, okay? He is willing to stand on business. There is a part in this book that, you know, it might be a little bit of a trigger warning a little bit if you don't like to read books where there's very, 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 very light, because it was a very brief moment. So that's what I'm saying. It was very brief. It was a very light grape scene. So if that's like hard for you to see, or if it might trigger you a little bit, you might want to skip over that part. I think that was like in chapter 14 or 15. I absolutely love this book. If you haven't already, drop a comment below. Let me know what other books by this author I should be checking out. Hit the like, follow, share, subscribe button, because I drop book reviews at least 2-3 times a week. I am always listening to an audiobook. I'm always reading books. I am a Kindle Unlimited hoochie. So as long as it's on there, I'm going to read it. I'm also going to get a t-shirt saying that, like right across the top. It's going to say like French Paul's Books, Kindle Unlimited hoochie. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.